All right, viewers, we're back again, and Ken's really covered some incredible stuff there. And look, I think you'd agree that when you sit around and have a coffee or a beer or whatever, a lot of the guys are talking about how this stuff is just doing their head in. Like this big circle they're on, just chasing their tail. You spend a couple $100,000 on a truck, and you go around and around in a circle spending money after you bought a new truck, and it just does your head in. And thankfully, Ken the Truck Whisperer, Ken's found the solution, and that solution is there for all of you. And look, I've known Ken for a while, but I've seen his work, and I tell you, it's amazing. So I'll hand over to Ken.
Righto, Tim. Yep, true in what you said. There is a solution, and it's called Truck Whisperer's Advanced Steering Management System. Now, this vehicle design fault that we're talking about, many years ago, I applied for intellectual property on the formula and why these vehicles are doing this. So the formula and the methodology on how to get this solution. So we now have, and have had for many years, intellectual property, or in other words patented, through the legal system in Australia, New Zealand and the US of A. So this is not something I invented. This is a real problem that's out there, but people have been addressing the problem from all this in the wrong areas and getting no result, and going around and around this merry-go-round of no result. So we do have a real solution to this problem, and we've been doing it for many years. So tram tracking and wandering, gone. Eliminated straight away. Heavy steering, once the vehicle is fixed, and it takes about 2 hours to fix a vehicle normally, heavy steering will go. The constant steering pulling to the left, one elbow up on the window and 2 fingers on the steering wheel all day, and that's all it requires. Doesn't matter what the road conditions are, the camber, the caster, the bends, anything, gone. Understeer, gone straight away. Everything hinges off that top one. So once that goes, all these go. Now, excessive driver fatigue. One of the tests that we did to find out, Tim, what the trucks are doing to drivers in relation to fatigue before and after, we did these tests based on Australian, American and European levels. They were all done through the hydraulic system, as well as the over and above whoopee cushion that every other engineer has done. So we far exceed, our tests far exceed anything that any other engineer has ever done. These tests come up in terms of hours. They're based on Australian, American and European levels of standards by which we get our fatigue values. What it said was, this particular 401 Kenworth, after 6 hours, it returned a recording of 6 hours where the driver would have been fatigued to the point where he's being impaired to do his work, as against 21 hours after advanced steering management system had been introduced into that same truck.
That's an amazing difference. I mean, that in health and safety terms, there should not be a truck out there that does not have this solution applied to it.
Correct. It should have been, it should be mandatory that the government, the Australian Standards Board, the ATA, RTA, Big Roads, Health and Safety, Police, Fire, Ambulance, made the coroner. We've been in touch with all of them. And guess what? The silence is deafening. Nobody wants to know about this. Every truck driver wants his truck done, but we can't get around and do the whole world. Every owner-operator wants to make some money out. Instead of going around and round this circle and circle here, going around and round what everybody does, new tyres, wheel aligning, bending axles, more wheel aligning, repairers, new steering boxes, and continually going round and round and round as a, in a continual circle, absolutely getting nowhere, Tim. What we're offering is all these things to be gone, and so excessive driver fatigue is reduced right down to about 75%, 60 to 75. Excessive steer tyre wear straight away goes. Scalloping in the most has gone. You'll get the odd tyre that may come up scallop afterwards. Sometimes that may depend on the tyre or whatever, but 99% of the time tyre scalloping is gone. Excessive steer tyre wear, gone. Multiple trailers and wanders, it's where do you, mate? Fix the steering and they go up the road as straight as a die. It's not the trailer's fault, the trailer doesn't have a brain. The truck does, but there's a very, very large percentage of the truck that doesn't have a good brain. So the pendulum motion, that goes because when you stop the truck from going left, right, and the wandering, you stop the right, left. So that's all gone. The riding ability has to pick up. It's a little bit on the riding ability. When you hit a bump at 100 k's an hour with the vehicle, with this fault in it, what happens, the inertia from that feeds back straight back through this inefficient steering system. So at 0.3 of a second, you lose steering. You lose pressure, flow, back pressure, everything that makes power steering for 0.3 of a second. So you have no steering. Now, because the motor's still going and the pump's still pushing, it has to start again. So you get that whack. The front wheel actually leaves the ground, 100 k's. So if you're going around a bend, you cross the white line, that's the reason you cross the white line. Because what happens at that 0.3 of a second, you actually lose 10 metres of steering, 30 feet. Right? So you can imagine when you get on corrugated roads and you watch any vehicle on the corrugated roads normally going, that's wearing out every component in your vehicle. All your steering components, the driver. That's because stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. When you get it constantly going, everything changes. So then your vehicle has time to ride. The suspension has time to work. Your suspension actually starts to work proper. So riding ability is included in it as well, and a very big part of it. So now we've gone through it, we've eliminated all this stuff. At the end of the day, this needless drain of company profits is coming from here. The industry thinks that it's wheel alignings, changing parts, rephasing steering columns, and all the stuff that we've been doing for the last 40 years, but we're still doing them 40 and 50 years later, Tim. I remember wheel aligning my own trucks with a 40 odd years ago with a piece of string. We had the same problem, all this we had here, the same problem then as we got now. Now we've got wheel aligners that probably 30, 40, $50,000 with laser beams and cameras on them that talk to each other. And guess what? We're no further down the track than we were. We still have all these problems that are now disappeared from the advanced steering management system. So we're out here to try and help you guys. This is not a trick, it's not a joke, it's 100% guaranteed. It does not affect the vehicle manufacturer's warranty, and we'll just get rid of all that. Alright, and at the end of the day, this is what we're left with. The solution from Truck Whisperer's advanced steering management system, and companies making profits.
Well, you know, companies aren't in business for the joy of owning trucks and polishing bull bars, mate. They're here to make a profit.
They are, Tim.
And you know, if you guys have been on that merry-go-round a few times, whether you own a driver or whether you've got a fleet of 100, look, really, you've got absolutely nothing to lose. Like Ken said, it's 100% guaranteed, and his work is patented around the world. So what I would suggest that look up the Truck Whisperer. Come and see Ken, have a chat to him, sit down. He loves a chat. And guys, what have you got to lose? There's an old saying that says that to continually do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, borders on insanity.
Pretty near.
Pretty near. So you've been around that ring a few times and you're not getting the results. Come and see Ken, the Truck Whisperer.
Great work, Tim, and thanks very much, and thanks for listening, viewers, and hope to hear from you soon. Have a bit of that chat that we're talking about.
Good man.
Cheers.